Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Nathan Hager, and we're joined by Bloomberg's Kriti Gupta with the biggest stock on the move this morning, the big earnings story of the morning, Home Depot. Good morning, Kriti.
Good morning, Nathan. Home Depot shares on the up and up this morning, despite the rest of the market dealing with a little bit of doomsday, a turnaround to the downside, as you mentioned. But Home Depot fighting against the trend. HD is your ticker, higher by about 3.3%, trading just shy of $392 a share. That being said, it looks like it did fall short of some of those estimates. The sales for Home Depot came in less than expected. The comp sales dropping about 0.3% as well. And a lot of narratives that you don't want to hear from the company CFO, talking about a weakening consumer sentiment, economic turbulence, consumers deferring larger projects because of the rate environment. A lot of that DIY kind of traffic that Home Depot and Lowe's, by the way, had gotten, not there as much to this extent. But that being said, they did talk about maintaining their full year forecast. They're still talking about investing in terms of more of their professional community instead of leaning into the DIY base that they had been for the last couple of years. And that is actually good news, because going into this earnings report, Nathan, the expectations were low. So it's one of those stories where it's simply that the earnings didn't come in as bad as expected. So Home Depot shares higher by about 3.3%. Like I said, trading at $392 a share. HD is your ticker. I want to get a quick check on Lowe's as well, because you know those two stocks move hand in hand. This morning, not moving a ton to the upside, though. Down by about 0.2% on Lowe's. LOW is your ticker, trading at about $233 a share. So that's going to be one that we keep an eye on quite substantially. I want to get a quick check on some of the tech names as well, Nathan, if you'll indulge me here.
Sure.
I know we talk about Nvidia all the time, but it's worth talking about again this morning because those shares are down about 0.2%, trading at $135 a share. And the reason I bring this up is simply because the rebound of Monday, so much of the volume had come from the retail trading base. And I think that's really important. So you have to go and check some of your retail favorites this morning in terms of how they're doing. Some of that analysis coming from the JP Morgan trading desk in terms of who was driving Monday's rally. But given that we are seeing a little bit of a breather in the futures picture this morning, Nvidia shares certainly a part of that. I'm going to go to a couple of others as well. Coinbase has very much been in the news. COIN is your ticker, also a retail favorite this morning. And we know it has been not only gained access to the S&P 500, but it's also been dealing with lawsuits and a few scandals there as well. But COIN, those shares actually higher this morning, in line with the Bitcoin trade, higher by 1.1%, trading at $267 a share. Really keep an eye on the cryptocurrency space, because of course we know in the last 24 hours some progress being made in the Senate, I believe, when it comes to that cryptocurrency bill. That is very much showing up in a lot of those crypto names. So Coinbase is just one. I want to look at Marathon Holdings as another. MARA is one to look at, higher by 0.3%. A similar story for Riot Blockchain as well. RIOT is your move, higher by 0.8%. So Nathan, in a market that's broadly lower this morning, cryptocurrency stocks beating the trend.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.